It's Entertainmet Schmig.
And it's brought to you by Plaza Motors, the luxury car center of the universe. 4 more women have stepped forward accusing Bill Cosby of raping them. And one of them, Lou Ferrigno's wife. Her name is Carla. She said the incident happened in 1967, a year after she was a Playboy bunny. She went out on a double date with a man, Bill Cosby, and his wife, Camille. And at one point, this guy and Camille, I know it's so hard for you not to say it in the Bill Cosby voice, but you can't.
Camille.
But Carla and this other man disappeared. The man and Camille disappeared into maybe another room, and that's when Bill tried to assault her. She believes that this man was set up to kind of find women for Bill and then distract Camille so that Bill could put the moves on. I don't even want to say put the moves. Assault women. And she said her only saving grace was that she did not drink at the time, so there was no way of him slipping a pill in her drink.
You know, I'm going to say this, and maybe this is not the appropriate place to be talking about this whole thing, but you said it a second before we went on the air here, and it was that there was somebody here within the 4 walls of this radio station that's, just kept saying, I can't believe it. I don't believe it. This is not true. I don't even want to think about it.
I love Bill Cosby so much.
Right. And Jen said, this is the reason women don't come forward, because no one will believe their testimony against his.
Right. It's kind of like Jerry Sandusky all over again. The magnitude of this is getting so big, people can't wrap their heads around it. And think about it, at least for me, so many of my great childhood memories are tied to Bill Cosby. It almost taints your childhood. I mean, he was my second dad. He was America's TV dad. I mean, still to this day, Father's Day polls. Who's your favorite TV dad? Bill Cosby. I mean,
Sure.
30 years after the Cosby Show was around. I still remember sitting around with my dad listening to Bill Cosby's comedy albums. It almost tarnishes your childhood memories, but we just kind of have to let it go and let these women's voices be heard. 2 more women, we don't really know them, but there's a nurse in Boca Raton, Florida, said she was drugged and raped by Bill Cosby back in the mid-'70s. Another woman from Pittsburgh said she was assaulted in the 80s. She had an ongoing relationship with Bill. But another woman, an actress, Louisa Moritz, was in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, and she goes into graphic detail about what happened right before she appeared on The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson.
It's disgusting.
It is.
I read the testimony. Not testimony, but her explanation of what happened.
And did you see the picture of him in that patchwork robe?
Janice Dickinson took Polaroids from the night she claims Bill Cosby assaulted her.
Why would he be in a robe?
He's in a robe and he does not have a shirt under. I mean, there's just more and more evidence coming out.
And the attorneys are doing this, tap dance. It's, I think damage control, they got to start looking on the other side of the equation.
And he's not canceling any of his shows.
No.
Well, he's getting canceled all over the place.
Yeah.
So, and he did a show in the Bahamas, which we can't control that, Courtney.
What
That's
accent
terrible.
is that?
I don't know. It's Bahamian. Okay? I'm just trying to give
It was Balamian. Even with food poisoning, I got it.
Director Mike Nichols, we had the news in the 840 Schmig yesterday that he died suddenly on Wednesday.
So sad.
And we just talked about how his story is fascinating. His life would make a great movie. One of the things I didn't mention yesterday, one of the many Tonys he won was for Whoopi Goldberg's one-woman show. She was an unknown.
Yeah.
He plucked her off the street and made her a star.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and yesterday on The View, she had something written out that she couldn't make it through, so her co-host helped her out.
This morning.
Want me to do it? This morning, news broke that entertainment pioneer Mike Nichols died suddenly of cardiac arrest while at home with friends and family. Whoopi has a hard time putting into words, which is why I'm doing it for her, but this man meant the world to her.
Mike Nichols is the one who first saw Whoopi performing and said, "You got something, kid."
Yeah.
He was a downtown street artist, and he said, "Let's do a show." They put it together, and he began and gave her entire beginning of her career and recognized her brilliance before anyone else.
And, he was one of those few people in Hollywood where no one had a bad thing to say about him. And people talked about what an honor it was to work with him. Meryl Streep, when people would get up for their acceptance speeches, they would say, the only reason I did this project was because Mike Nichols asked me to. I mean, he was just that respected in Hollywood, so he will definitely be missed. Allison Williams, starring in the Peter Pan live special on NBC next month.
Oh, another live special.
Well, you're going to watch.
Oh, yeah.
Of course, yes.
I know.
And you know how people jumped all over social media, Twitter and Facebook, during The Sound of Music last year, talking about how awful they thought it was. Allison Williams said, if that's the only reason you're going to watch so that you can hate watch it and hate tweet, don't do it. She said that Peter Pan means so much to her, and it hurts her when people approach it. They're already cynical about it, and they view it through this cynical lens.
I already have the headline. Peter Panned.
She is an actress, though, unlike Carrie Underwood.
Yes.
So hopefully.
It's a sweet thing, we are a cynical society.
And of course, Christopher Walken.
Captain Hook. I was in Pennies from Heaven. I dance. Also, great scene in Country Bears where I get the bears to sing. I know you've probably never seen that. Rent it.
What should I do?
Rent it.
I know we're over time.
I know.
St. Louis International Film Festival continues through Sunday. Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 1 is out. The Theory of Everything about Stephen Hawking is also out. And this weekend, some celebs in town, Joe Torre and Monet Davis, being honored at the Musial Awards. By the way, this would have been Stan Musial's birthday today.
Aw, happy birthday, Stan.
WWE in town Sunday at Scott Trade. And Saturday night, set your DVR for Channel 5. They're doing this special on Children's Hospital. It's a 6-part series, and it's executive produced by Jon Hamm, by the way, called The Frontline for Hope. You will see my son's doctor, Dr. Warner, who pretty much saved his life. So make sure to check that out, 6:30 on Channel 5.